What's going on, everyone? My name is Craig Schmitt. I'm the Director of Engaged Learning and Outreach for the Department of Tourism, Recreation, and Sport Management here at the University of Florida. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the concept of engaged learning and the importance of taking steps early and consistently throughout your college career to better prepare you to transition into a professional role after graduation. But before I get started, let's start with the importance of this idea of considering your source. So while I always encourage you to seek advice from a number of people throughout your college and professional careers, we need to remember that advice is based on experiences. We all have different experiences that impact the lens that we look at the world through. So therefore, when contemplating advice, like today, you should always consider the source and their experiences. So let's chat about me for a minute. So I'm a very proud UF alum. I completed a BS in Business Economics back in 2003. While I excelled in the classroom, I realized in my senior year that I was completely unprepared for life. I don't think I ever shook the hand of a professor, never had a single conversation with a professional in a field I was interested in. I never completed an internship. Because I was unprepared and really not positioned to be competitive in the job market, I enrolled immediately into a graduate program at UCF, our neighbors to the south. It was there that I got involved and completed internships with several organizations before a mentor really sat down with me and challenged me to think about what I was most passionate about, which led to my first career in the nonprofit world. After about 5 years in nonprofits, I knew I wanted to get back into higher ed because I thought there was an opportunity to better prepare students like me for life after college. So I completed a PhD in sport administration from the University of Northern Colorado, and I've worked now at several universities, including the University of Colorado at Boulder, Elon University in North Carolina, and now at the fantastic University of Florida. At CU and Elon, I taught sport management courses, but also really focused on engaging students outside the classroom with a variety of initiatives. Here at UF in the Department of Tourism, Recreation, and Sport Management, where I've been since the fall of 2016, my role as the Director of Engaged Learning and Outreach is focused on enhancing the educational experience of current, past, and future undergraduate and graduate students through expanded opportunities, focused on industry relations, student professional development, and alumni engagement. So basically I work with current students, past students, future students, looking for opportunities to connect them to industry, to develop professionally, and to engage with alums. So typically, when I throw this word on the screen over there, students feel instant anxiety. I know this may seem like it's years away for some of you, but time seems to move quickly during your college years. So what if I told you I can make this process fun? Not college, the job search. It really is as easy as understanding the difference between being reactive in the job search and proactive in the job search. So let's talk about reactive. So let's fast forward to your senior year and you're looking forward to graduation and you're starting to look for a job. Where do you go to look for a job? Well, the vast majority of people will go immediately to their computer, open up that screen, and start typing in some job posting website, whether it's Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, maybe Idealist.com if you're interested in the nonprofit space, maybe Teamwork Online if it's sport, maybe NCAA Market if you're really interested in college athletics. But then what, right? Well, most students and young professionals will search for a job on these sites every day, sometimes multiple times a day, until you find one that you really want to apply to. Then, of course, you've been taught to tailor your materials for that job and apply. Then what, right? We wait and we pray. The likelihood that you'll be invited to interview for a position that you've applied to using this strategy is pretty low. Why? Well, let's think about it, because we are just one of hundreds, if not thousands, of colleges and universities where students are also completing degrees and going to the same websites, in addition to professionals in the field who are looking for new jobs. So that job you thought was really cool, it's unlikely you were the only person who thought it was really cool. And it's really unlikely you were the most qualified person who thought that job was really cool. And in most cases, or in many cases anyways, organizations already have a short list of candidates in mind when they post a position. So unless you're already on that list, the odds you'll be receiving a phone call are even smaller. So the good news is the most qualified applicant rarely is the person hired, and there are strategies to increase the odds of landing interviews. And that strategy is called being proactive, right? So rather than waiting for a position to post and then reactively applying, let's talk about how we can take a more proactive approach. A proactive approach is entirely built on this idea of building relationships, right? We've all heard it's not what you know, but who you know, or it's not who you know, but who knows you. I simply believe that it's all about relationships. So why are relationships so important to landing a position? Well, let's think about it from the employer's perspective. Well, first of all, hiring is expensive, right? It takes a lot of time, costs a lot of money, you have to spend a lot of manpower training you. The last thing anyone wants to do is make a bad hire because of the immense investment. But probably most importantly, once they hire you, they have to work with you. So wouldn't you want to work with people you connect with and you enjoy being around? So building relationships with professionals in jobs you're interested in can lead to what we call referrals. So I spend a lot of my time talking to our alums and industry professionals, and I always ask questions about the hiring process. And every story I hear the phrase, she was a referral or he was a referral. So let's pull the curtain back on the hiring process a little bit. I mentioned earlier that most organizations already have a short list of candidates in mind before they even post a position, if they post the position. So who are these people that are on the short list of candidates? Well, typically they're either internal candidates or they're referrals. So if you're not already employed with the organization, our best chance to land an interview is to be a referral, which means one of your professional relationships either gives you a heads up about the position or reaches out directly to the hiring manager and says, you really should take a look at this person. So I've seen estimates as high as 85% of jobs are filled through internal hires or referrals, 85%. All right, so hopefully I've convinced you of the need to build relationships, but we can't possibly develop relationships with everyone, right? So we want to be strategic, meaning we want to identify our goals or interests, and specifically look to connect to people related to those goals. And that's where this idea of silos comes into play. So we want to identify a silo that interests us. And so that silo can be a particular segment of our industry, it can be a particular company, a particular city, a particular type of job, etc. Then we focus on connecting to people who are in that silo. So the more we can focus in on our relationship building in a particular silo, the more likely it is that we'll meet people that also overlap in some way professionally, and that's how we build what we call a network. So how do you start to do this? Well, I have a couple suggestions on how to be an engaged learner while you're here at the University of Florida. First, a powerful tool that anyone can use is called the informational interview. The objective of an informational interview is twofold. One is just to learn about a particular job. And two, it's to begin to build a relationship with a professional in a position that you aspire to be in one day. The objective is not to get an internship or a job. It is incredibly unlikely that the person you reach out to have a conversation just happens to have the perfect job waiting for you. But if you're able to connect and build a relationship from that connection, it could lead to a referral one day. A lot of people are very intimidated by the notion of reaching out to a professional you don't know, but professionals love connecting to students and sharing insights about their career path and the industry if the ask is handled in a professional way. The second strategy is to take advantage of opportunities our department provides to meet and begin connecting with professionals. So this could be by going on one of our small group networking events. Here's a group of students at Tropicana Field in the fall of 2018 where we connected with industry professionals and alums. Here's a small group we took to the Ritz-Carlton on Amelia Island in spring of 2018. We also do large group networking trips. In the fall, we head to a Jaguars game and connect with alumni and industry professionals up in Jacksonville prior to attending a game. In the spring of 2017, we took a big group down to the Orange County Convention Center and connected with alums and industry professionals that work there. We also do multiple day trips. Every fall we go down to Miami for 3 days and spend time connecting with alums and industry professionals that work in the Miami market. But you don't have to leave campus to connect. We frequently have alumni and industry professionals visit us, and there are always opportunities to connect, either through some sort of meet and greet, over snacks, over lunch. There are also speaker events where you can attend and hear from alumni and industry leaders, and then stay afterwards and connect with them, have a conversation with them. A good resource to check out is our department's Flickr page, which will give you an idea of the variety of opportunities that exist for you to connect and build relationships. It all starts with the first step. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep an eye out for my Monday emails. They are full of opportunities to connect, or you can always send me an email. I'd love to set up a time to chat one-on-one and get a sense of what you're trying to accomplish and what you'd like to do one day. Here's my contact information. I look forward to connecting with you. And of course, go Gators.